There are places in Hoenn that feel almost ordinary at first, until you stay long enough for the strange details to surface. A city hidden inside a flooded volcanic crater, an island that appears only when an invisible number in your party happens to match the world's secret rhythm, a lone dragon drifting in the ozone layer, watching silently as the land and sea shift beneath it. Even the ruins scattered across the region behave like they remember something ancient, with doors that open only if you wait without moving, or walk in patterns carved into stone centuries before trainers ever arrived. Each detail we uncover tonight adds another layer to a world already rich with mystery. And before we drift any further, make sure to subscribe, so once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I can reduce the ads, and tell me where you are watching from tonight. The hardware leap from the Game Boy Color to the Game Boy Advance allowed developers at Game Freak to reimagine what a Pokémon world could look like. Graphics became sharper, music became richer, and environmental details grew more intricate. Towns like Slateport bustled with market stalls and harbor activity, while Fortree City rested high in the treetops, connected by rope bridges that swayed gently in the breeze. Each location felt distinct, shaped by geography and culture in ways that earlier regions had only hinted at. The tropical setting wasn't just aesthetic, it influenced gameplay mechanics in fundamental ways that defined the entire experience. Water covered much of Hoenn's map, creating vast routes that required surfing and diving to navigate. These weren't simple gimmicks, but core parts of exploration that opened up entire sections of the world. Diving, introduced for the first time in Ruby and Sapphire, allowed players to descend beneath the ocean's surface and discover underwater caves filled with rare Pokémon and hidden items. The mechanic felt transformative, adding a vertical dimension to a series that had always been limited to land-based movement. Suddenly, the world didn't just stretch outward, it stretched downward, revealing secrets buried beneath the waves. The currents that pushed players through certain water routes added another layer of challenge and discovery. These weren't just obstacles, but environmental puzzles that required careful navigation. Some currents led to hidden areas, while others forced players to circle back and approach from different angles. The sensation of being swept along by invisible forces mirrored real ocean travel, where tides and flows dictate movement more than human intention. It made the region feel alive, governed by natural laws rather than simple game design. Mount Chimney stood as one of Hoenn's most memorable landmarks, a volcanic peak that loomed over the central landscape. The mountain was home to Team Magma's base, a villainous organization obsessed with expanding the land by awakening ancient forces. Climbing the mountain meant navigating ash-covered routes where soot fell like snow, coating everything in a fine gray powder. At the summit, players encountered steaming vents and rocky terrain that felt harsh compared to the lush forests below. The contrast was deliberate, reinforcing the elemental conflict at the heart of Hoenn's mythology. Double battles debuted in Hoenn, changing the strategic landscape of Pokémon combat forever. Instead of one-on-one duels, trainers could now field two Pokémon at once, creating opportunities for combination moves and tactical synergy. Moves that hit multiple targets became suddenly valuable, and abilities that supported allies gained new importance. The introduction of double battles wasn't just a mechanical addition, it was a philosophical shift that emphasized teamwork and coordination in ways the series had never explored before. Weather effects became central to Hoenn's identity, both in story and gameplay. Rain, harsh sunlight, sandstorms, and hail could now persist across multiple turns, altering the flow of battle in profound ways. Water-type moves gained power under rain, while fire-type moves blazed stronger under sunlight. Certain Pokémon thrived in specific weather conditions, leading to the rise of weather-based team compositions that dominated competitive play for years. The concept of weather wars, where trainers battled to control the environmental conditions of the field, originated here in Hoenn's tropical climate. The mythology of Hoenn centered on three legendary titans: Groudon, the embodiment of land; Kyogre, the embodiment of sea; and Rayquaza, the embodiment of sky. This trinity represented balance in its purest form, each force keeping the others in check through eternal opposition. The story of Ruby and Sapphire revolved around disrupting that balance, with Team Magma and Team Aqua each seeking to awaken their chosen titan and reshape the world according to their vision. It was a narrative rooted in elemental symbolism, where geography itself became a character in the conflict. Groudon's design reflected its role as the continent Pokémon. Its massive frame resembled hardened magma, with armored plating that looked like volcanic rock cooled into solid form. Red markings glowed across its body like molten veins, suggesting immense heat contained beneath its surface. When Groudon awakened, it brought drought so intense that sunlight blazed without mercy, evaporating water and cracking the earth. The creature didn't just represent land, it embodied the raw, destructive power of geological forces reshaping the world through heat and pressure. Kyogre served as Groudon's aquatic counterpart, a leviathan whose body mimicked the deep ocean. Its sleek, streamlined form allowed it to glide effortlessly through water, while blue and white coloring evoked waves and foam. The red markings along its fins resembled coral or bioluminescent patterns found in deep-sea creatures. When Kyogre awakened, it summoned torrential rain that flooded coastlines and swelled rivers beyond their banks. The balance between these two titans defined Hoenn's environmental identity, with their conflict threatening to drown or scorch the entire region. Rayquaza emerged as the mediator, a serpentine dragon that soared through the upper atmosphere. Its green scales shimmered like emeralds, and its elongated body moved with a grace that suggested both power and elegance. Unlike Groudon and Kyogre, whose domains were fixed to land and sea, Rayquaza inhabited the sky itself, dwelling in the ozone layer far above the world below. In the game's climax, it descended from the heavens to quell the conflict between the other two legendaries, restoring balance through sheer force of presence. Its role as peacekeeper elevated it above the others, making it the ultimate symbol of harmony. The creation of these three legendaries involved extensive design work that blended prehistoric inspiration with mythological symbolism. Groudon's appearance drew from ancient depictions of earth deities, creatures that represented stability and foundation. Kyogre borrowed elements from whales, orcas, and mythical sea serpents, merging aquatic biology with divine imagery. Rayquaza's serpentine form echoed dragons from various cultural traditions, particularly those associated with weather and celestial phenomena. Together, they formed a cohesive trinity that felt both ancient and timeless. Lesser legendaries also populated Hoenn, each tied to specific locations and lore. The Regi trio, Regis, Registeel, and Regirock, were hidden within sealed chambers, accessible only by solving cryptic puzzles written in Braille. These golems resembled ancient constructs, beings created rather than born, with bodies composed of pure elemental materials. Their mechanical designs suggested artificial life, entities shaped by unknown hands for purposes lost to history. The process of unlocking their chambers became one of the most memorable challenges in the game, requiring players to decipher messages and perform specific actions that felt ritualistic. The sealed chamber, where the journey to the Regis began, was located beneath the ocean floor, reachable only through diving. Inside, players encountered Braille inscriptions carved into stone walls, instructions that guided them through a complex sequence of steps. The use of Braille wasn't arbitrary. It reflected a commitment to accessibility and inclusivity, allowing visually impaired players to participate in solving the puzzle. It also added a layer of authenticity, making the ruins feel like genuine archaeological sites rather than simple game obstacles. Regis resided in the Island Cave, a frozen chamber where temperatures never rose above freezing. Its body appeared to be carved from solid ice, transparent and faceted like a massive crystal. The patterns on its face resembled ancient runes, geometric symbols that glowed faintly in the darkness. To reach Regis, players needed to wait motionless in the chamber for several minutes, a test of patience that mirrored the stillness of ice itself. The design emphasized restraint and endurance, qualities that matched the Pokemon's icy nature. Regirock dwelled in the desert ruins, a structure half buried in sand that suggested eons of erosion. Its body consisted of orange-brown stones fitted together like ancient masonry, with cracks and gaps revealing the emptiness within. To unlock its chamber, players needed Pokémon capable of specific moves, demonstrating knowledge and preparation. Regirock's design evoked images of forgotten civilizations, structures built by hands long vanished, now standing as silent monuments to lost knowledge. Registeel occupied the ancient tomb, a metal structure that resisted decay far better than stone or ice. Its body gleamed with a dull gray sheen, featureless except for the 7 dots arranged on its face. Unlike the other two, Registeel's design suggested technological advancement rather than natural elements, as though it were a machine rather than a creature. To reach it, players needed to position specific Pokémon in their party, a ritual that felt less like exploration and more like activation of dormant systems. Latias and Latios, the Eon duo, introduced a new kind of legendary encounter. Rather than waiting in a fixed location, they roamed freely across Hoenn, moving from route to route in unpredictable patterns. Players needed to track them down through a combination of luck and strategy, using items or abilities that prevented them from fleeing. Their psychic and dragon typing made them formidable opponents, while their sleek, aerodynamic designs suggested speed and grace. Latias carried feminine traits with red and white coloring, while Latios bore masculine traits with blue and white. Together, they represented duality and partnership, siblings bound by shared purpose. Jirachi, a mythical Pokémon distributed through special events, embodied wishes and dreams. Its small, star-shaped body floated gently in the air, with colorful ribbons streaming from its head like comet tails. Jirachi awakened only once every 1,000 years for 7 days, during which it granted wishes to those pure of heart. The mythology surrounding Jirachi drew from various cultural traditions involving wish-granting entities, blending innocence with cosmic significance. Its steel and psychic typing reflected both resilience and ethereal nature, grounding fantastical concepts in gameplay mechanics. Deoxys, another mythical Pokémon, arrived in Hoenn via meteorite, its extraterrestrial origin setting it apart from every other creature in the region. Its DNA-inspired design featured a crystalline core visible through its translucent body, with tendrils that shifted and reconfigured depending on its form. Deoxys could transform between normal, attack, defense, and speed forms, adapting to different strategic needs. This flexibility made it unique among legendaries, a being that evolved not through training, but through conscious transformation. The lore suggested it was a virus mutated by cosmic radiation, an alien presence that didn't belong to the natural order. The meteorite that brought Deoxys crashed near Moss Deep City, a location known for its space center and astronomical research. The connection between space exploration and Deoxys' arrival felt deliberate, tying the mythical Pokémon to humanity's reach beyond the planet. The Space Center itself featured rocket launches and scientists studying the stars, creating a setting where the extraordinary felt scientifically plausible. Deoxys represented the unknown, the possibility that life existed beyond Hoenn's shores and skies, waiting to be discovered. Contests introduced a new way to interact with Pokémon, emphasizing beauty, coolness, cuteness, cleverness, and toughness rather than combat prowess. These competitions took place in contest halls located in various cities, where trainers showcased their partners through carefully choreographed performances. Moves were judged not by damage output, but by visual appeal and crowd reaction, rewarding creativity over raw power. Contests appealed to players who saw their Pokémon as companions and performers rather than warriors, expanding the series' identity beyond battles. Preparing for contests required feeding Pokémon Pokéblocks, treats made from berries that enhance specific stats related to contest categories. The process of crafting Pokéblocks involved a minigame where players blended berries together, spinning a device to create mixtures of varying quality. Better Pokéblocks required better berries, which grew on specific roots throughout Hoenn. This system encouraged exploration and experimentation, rewarding players who invested time in berry cultivation and recipe optimization. It was a quiet, meditative activity that contrasted sharply with the intensity of gym battles. Phoebus represented one of Hoenn's most infamous challenges, a Pokémon so rare and difficult to obtain that many players never encountered it. The ugly fish dwelled in only 6 tiles along Route 119, an arbitrarily small portion of a lengthy waterway. These tiles changed daily based on a hidden, trendy phrase value, making consistent hunting nearly impossible. Players spent hours casting fishing rods into seemingly random spots, hoping to land on one of the elusive tiles. The frustration was legendary, but so was the reward. Phoebus evolved into Melodic, a serpentine beauty whose elegance rivaled legendary Pokémon. Melodic's evolution method differed from most Pokémon, requiring not levels or items, but maxed out beauty stat. This meant participating in contests and feeding Phoebus high-quality Pokéblocks, a process that felt more like grooming and care than traditional training. The transformation from Phoebus to Melodic carried symbolic weight, a narrative of inner beauty revealed through patience and effort. Melodic's graceful design, with flowing fins and iridescent scales, stood in stark contrast to Phoebus's dull appearance, reinforcing themes of transformation and hidden potential. The Battle Frontier, introduced in Pokémon Emerald, represented the pinnacle of competitive challenge in Hoenn. Located on an island separate from the main region, it housed 7 facilities, each testing different aspects of battle strategy. The Battle Tower emphasized straightforward combat, while the Battle Factory randomized teams, forcing players to adapt on the fly. The Battle Pyramid introduced exploration elements, with floors filled with trainers and items. Each facility offered unique rewards and challenges, creating a post-game experience that extended Hoenn's longevity far beyond the Elite Four. The Battle Factory's random rental system stripped away the advantage of carefully bred teams, leveling the playing field between casual and competitive players. Trainers selected from a pool of pre-made Pokémon, building teams from unfamiliar options and adapting strategies based on available moves and typings. This facility tested fundamental understanding of mechanics rather than knowledge of specific Pokémon, rewarding quick thinking and flexibility. Winning streaks here felt earned in ways that differed from other formats, where preparation mattered more than improvisation. Scott, the Battle Frontier's founder, appeared throughout the player's journey, observing battles and offering cryptic commentary. His presence added a mysterious element to the postgame, as though the character had been evaluating the player's potential all along. When he finally invited them to the frontier, it felt like recognition of skill rather than arbitrary progression. Scott's design, with his sunglasses and laid-back demeanor, contrasted with the intensity of the challenges he oversaw, creating an enigmatic figure who embodied both relaxation and mastery. The Trick House, located on Route 110, offered a series of puzzle rooms that changed as the player earned badges. Each visit introduced new challenges involving invisible walls, teleportation tiles, and hidden trainers. The Trickmaster, an eccentric character who disguised himself throughout the house, rewarded successful completion with rare items and decorations. The house itself felt like a playful diversion, a break from the seriousness of gym challenges and legendary hunts. Its whimsical nature added variety to Hoenn's landscape, reminding players that adventure could be lighthearted. Secret bases allowed players to claim hidden spots throughout Hoenn and decorate them with furniture and dolls. These personal spaces ranged from trees and caves to cliffsides and bushes, each offering unique layouts and aesthetics. Players could share their bases with friends through link cables, visiting each other's hideouts and battling the teams left behind. Secret bases fostered creativity and self-expression, giving players ownership over small corners of the world. They transformed Hoenn from a static map into a living space shaped by individual choices. Decorating secret bases involved collecting furniture from shops and NPCs scattered throughout the region. Items ranged from practical objects like desks and chairs to whimsical pieces like giant cushions and sand ornaments. Dolls representing Pokémon could be displayed, creating miniature shrines to favorite creatures. The process of designing and arranging a base felt almost meditative, a chance to slow down and engage with the world on personal terms. Some players spent more time decorating than battling, finding satisfaction in crafting perfect spaces. The Zootopolis City Gym, led by Wallace, featured a unique puzzle involving ice tiles that cracked and broke after being walked over. Navigating the gym required careful planning, as mistaken steps could leave players stranded or force them to restart. Wallace himself specialized in water-type Pokémon, fitting for a city built inside a flooded crater. His team included Melodic, the evolved form of Phoebus, serving as both a gameplay challenge and a narrative showcase of beauty and grace. Defeating Wallace granted access to the final gym badge, opening the path to the Elite Four. The Elite Four of Hoenn consisted of Sydney, Phoebe, Glacia, and Drake, each representing a distinct type's specialty. Sydney favored dark-type Pokémon, using underhanded tactics and status moves to gain advantages. Phoebe commanded ghost types, creatures that phased between the physical and spectral realms. Glacia relied on ice types, freezing opponents with chilling precision. Drake, the final member, specialized in dragon types, powerful creatures that tested the limits of a trainer's skill. Each member embodied their type's characteristics, creating battles that felt thematic as well as challenging. Wallace served as the champion in Pokémon Emerald, replacing Steven Stone, who stepped aside to pursue his interest in rare stones. Wallace's champion team emphasized water types, reflecting his background as both gym leader and coordinator. His battle style blended power with elegance, using moves that dealt damage while maintaining aesthetic appeal. Defeating Wallace marked the completion of Hoenn's main story, though the journey was far from over. The battle frontier awaited, along with legendary hunts and secret base decoration. Steven Stone, the original champion in Ruby and Sapphire, was a wandering collector obsessed with rare minerals and fossils. His team featured steel and rock-type Pokémon, creatures that reflected his geological interests. Metagross, his signature Pokémon, combined steel and psychic typing into a formidable powerhouse that hovered menacingly above the battlefield. Steven's calm demeanor and scholarly approach to training set him apart from previous champions, who often emphasized raw strength. He represented knowledge and curiosity, traits that resonated with players who viewed Pokémon training as intellectual pursuit rather than combat sport. The Devon Corporation, a powerful company based in Rustboro City, played a significant role in Hoenn's narrative. Devon manufactured Pokeballs and other trainer equipment, wielding considerable economic influence throughout the region. The company's president relied on the player to recover stolen goods from Team Magma early in the journey, establishing a relationship that persisted throughout the story. Devon's research into infinite energy and advanced technology hinted at deeper lore, themes that would be expanded in later remakes. The corporation represented human ambition and innovation, forces that could either protect or endanger the natural world. Team Magma and Team Aqua, the villainous organizations of Hoenn, operated under opposing philosophies. Team Magma believed expanding landmass would create more space for human and Pokémon habitation, seeing the ocean as wasted potential. Team Aqua held the opposite view, arguing that expanding the sea would return the world to a purer, more natural state. Both groups pursued their goals through theft, sabotage, and ultimately awakening ancient legendaries. Their conflict drove much of the narrative tension, with the player caught between two extremes, neither of which understood the consequences of their actions. Maxie, the leader of Team Magma, presented himself as a visionary seeking to improve the world through scientific means. His red suit and stern demeanor conveyed authority and conviction, while his speeches about progress masked dangerous fanaticism. Maxie genuinely believed awakening Groudon would benefit humanity, unable to see how drought and desertification would devastate ecosystems. His downfall came not from evil intent, but from short-sighted idealism, a cautionary tale about good intentions divorced from wisdom. Archie, Team Aqua's leader, mirrored Maxie's passion, but directed it toward the ocean. His blue attire and pirate-like aesthetic reflected his love for the sea, while his rhetoric emphasized returning the world to a primordial state. Archie saw civilization as corruption, believing that flooding the land would restore balance and purity. Like Maxie, he failed to consider the catastrophic consequences of his plan, too focused on abstract ideals to recognize practical harm. Both leaders served as flawed antagonists whose mistakes stemmed from conviction rather than malice. The Hoenn Pokédex introduced 135 new species, each contributing to the region's tropical identity. Many designs drew inspiration from oceanic life, reflecting the region's aquatic emphasis. Pokémon like Wailord, the massive float whale, and Relicanth, the ancient coelacanth, showcased marine biodiversity. Others, like Tropius, the fruit-bearing dinosaur, and Cacturn, the desert scarecrow, represented Hoenn's diverse climates. The variety ensured that every route felt distinct, populated by creatures suited to their environments. Slaking, the lazy giant, became infamous for its incredible stats undermined by its truant ability, which forced it to loaf every other turn. Despite this limitation, Slaking's raw power made it a formidable opponent in the hands of Norman, the player's father and the Petalburg City gym leader. The dynamic of facing one's own parent in battle added emotional weight to the encounter, while Slaking's design, massive, slouched, and perpetually drowsy, captured the essence of wasted potential. It became a symbol of how abilities could define a Pokemon's viability as much as stats. Shedinja, the ghostly husk left behind when Nincada evolved into Ninjask, introduced one of the strangest mechanics in the series. With only 1 HP, Shedinja survived only through its Wonder Guard ability, which negated all damage except from super effective moves. This made it either invincible or worthless, depending on the opponent's team composition. Its design, a hollow shell with a glowing void visible through its back, suggested emptiness and mystery. Folklore within the game warned that looking into Shedinja's back would steal one's soul, adding an eerie layer to an already unusual Pokémon. Cast Form, the weather-transforming Pokémon, embodied Hoenn's focus on environmental conditions. Its normal form resembled a gray cloud, but it changed shape and type depending on weather, becoming fiery in sunlight, watery in rain, or icy in hail. Cast Form was gifted to players by the Weather Institute, a research facility dedicated to studying meteorological phenomena. The Pokémon served as both mascot and experiment, a living demonstration of how weather influenced battles. While not competitively powerful, Cast Form's unique ability made it memorable and emblematic of Hoenn's themes. Kecleon, the color-changing lizard, possessed the ability to turn invisible until disturbed. In the overworld, invisible Kecleon blocked certain paths until the Devon scope revealed them. This mechanic tied directly into the main story, adding a layer of puzzle solving to progression. Kecleon's design referenced chameleons, with spiral eyes and a zigzag pattern across its belly. Its color change ability caused it to adopt the type of any move that hit it, making battles unpredictable and often frustrating. Despite limited competitive use, Kecleon stood out for its role in exploration. Absol, the disaster Pokémon, carried a dark reputation born from misunderstanding. Its appearance before catastrophes led people to blame it for causing the tragedies, when in truth, Absol arrived to warn others. This theme of persecution, despite good intentions, resonated with players, making Absol a symbol of tragic heroism. Its design, featuring a white coat and a blade-like horn that curved gracefully from its head, blended elegance with danger. Absol's dark typing and high attack stat made it a favorite among players who appreciated both aesthetics and power. Flygon, the ground and dragon type, emerged from the desert-dwelling Trapinch after 2 evolutions. Its dragonfly-inspired design featured translucent wings and green coloring that evoked oasis vegetation. Flygon occupied a strange position in competitive play, strong enough to be useful, but often overshadowed by more specialized dragons. Despite this, it maintained a devoted fan base who appreciated its design and versatility. The Pokémon's ability to learn a wide variety of moves made it adaptable, capable of filling multiple roles depending on team needs. Salamence, the pseudo-legendary dragon, represented the culmination of Bagon's dream to fly. Bagon's Pokédex entries described it hurling itself off cliffs in desperate attempts to achieve flight, eventually growing wings through sheer determination. This narrative of perseverance resonated emotionally, making Salamence's final form feel earned. Its fearsome appearance, with massive wings and a crescent-shaped head crest, conveyed power and freedom. Salamence became a staple in competitive teams, valued for its high stats and dragon-flying typing. Metagross, the Iron Leg Pokémon, resulted from the fusion of 2 Metang, which themselves formed from 2 Beldum. This progression suggested a hive mind intelligence that grew more complex with each evolution. Metagross's steel psychic typing granted resistances to numerous attacks, while its 4 legs provided stability and strength. The Pokémon's signature move, Meteor Mash, referenced its extraterrestrial origins. Beldum were said to arrive via meteorite, making them rare and exotic. Steven Stone's use of Metagross as his signature partner elevated the Pokemon's status, cementing it as one of Hoenn's most iconic creatures. Blaziken, the firefighting starter evolution, introduced the fighting type to the fire starter line for the first time. Its design blended avian and martial artist aesthetics with powerful legs built for devastating kicks. Blaziken's speed boost ability, introduced in later generations, made it a dominant force in competitive play, though in Hoenn it relied on Blaze to increase fire-type moves at low health. The Pokemon's popularity led to it becoming the first fire starter to receive a Mega Evolution in later games, further cementing its legacy. Swampert, the water-ground starter evolution, became beloved for its defensive typing and reliable stats. Its amphibious design drew from mudskippers and salamanders, creatures that thrived in wetlands. Swampert's only weakness, grass-type moves, could be mitigated through careful team building and move coverage. The Pokemon's ability to learn Ice Beam allowed it to handle grass types more effectively, making it one of the most versatile starters in the series. Players appreciated its bulkiness and dependability, traits that suited both casual playthroughs and competitive battles. Sceptile, the grass starter evolution, contrasted with Swampert's bulk by emphasizing speed and special attack. Its reptilian design featured leaf-like blades along its arms and a tail that resembled a pine tree. Sceptile struggled more than the other Hoenn starters due to its fragile defenses and limited move pool, but it remained popular for its sleek appearance and agile battle style. Later generations gave it a Mega Evolution that added dragon typing, addressing some of its competitive shortcomings and reinforcing its identity as a swift, striking predator. The Hoenn starters reflected different approaches to adventure: Blaziken for aggressive offense, Swampert for balanced defense, and Sceptile for speed and precision. Choosing between them shaped the early game experience, as each faced different challenges in the gym circuit. Roxanne's rock types favored Mudkip, while Brawly's fighting types struggled against Torchic. The decision felt meaningful, encouraging players to consider strategy rather than simply picking based on appearance. If you're still awake halfway through, maybe subscribe before you drift off, and tell me what time it is where you're watching from. Aaron, the steel rock type found in Granite Cave, evolved into Lairon and eventually Aggron, a massive armored giant. Aggron's design resembled a mechanical dinosaur with plated armor and a horned head that suggested both prehistoric power and modern industry. Despite impressive defense stats, its numerous weaknesses to common types limited its competitive viability. Still, Aggron's infighting presence made it a popular choice for players who valued aesthetics and thematic consistency. Its connection to mountains and minerals tied directly into Steven Stone's character, as he could be encountered training his own Aggron in the wild. Mawile, the Deceiver Pokémon, presented a dual nature embodied by its design. The creature appeared cute and harmless from the front, but massive steel jaws extended from the back of its head, capable of crushing opponents. This duality reflected themes of hidden danger and deceptive appearances. Mawile's fairy typing, added in later generations, made it more viable in competitive play, but in Hoenn it remained a steel-type oddity. Its small stature and unique design made it memorable despite limited usage. Sableye, the Darkness Pokémon, possessed no weaknesses in the original Ruby and Sapphire due to its dark ghost typing. This made it nearly invincible defensively, though its low stats prevented it from dominating battles. Sableye's design drew from gremlin folklore, with gemstone eyes that glowed in the dark and a mischievous grin. The Pokémon lurked in caves, feeding on rocks and gems, which explained its mineral-encrusted appearance. Later generations introduced the fairy type, which gave Sableye a weakness, but in Hoenn it remained a defensive curiosity. Sharpedo, the brutal Pokémon, combined shark imagery with torpedo aesthetics, resulting in a dark water type known for incredible speed and vicious attacks. Its design featured jagged fins and a menacing underbite, conveying aggression and predatory instinct. Sharpedo's low defenses meant it couldn't survive prolonged battles, but its hit-and-run tactics made it effective in short bursts. The Pokémon appeared frequently on Team Aqua rosters, fitting the organization's aquatic theme and reinforcing their identity as oceanic extremists. Camerupt, the eruption Pokémon, served as Team Magma's mascot, appearing on their leader Maxie's team. Its design merged a camel with volcanic imagery, featuring humps that resembled craters capable of erupting with molten rock. Camerupt's fireground typing reflected Hoenn's volcanic geography, while its slow speed and high HP made it a tanky presence in battle. The Pokémon's docile appearance contrasted with its destructive potential, mirroring how dormant volcanoes could suddenly become catastrophic. Torkoal, the coal Pokémon, burned fuel within its shell to produce smoke and flames. Its design referenced both tortoises and coal-powered engines, creating a creature that felt ancient yet industrial. Torkoal's low speed and high defense suited a stalling playstyle, and its access to moves like Rapid Spin made it useful for removing hazards. Despite these utilities, it rarely saw competitive use due to superior alternatives. Still, its unique design and connection to Hoenn's volcanic theme made it a regional favorite. Lunatone and Solrock, the meteorite Pokémon, represented celestial duality, one embodying the moon, the other the sun. Both were found in Meteor Falls, a location tied to spacicities and cosmic phenomena. Lunatone's crescent shape and psychic rock typing suggested mysticism and lunar influence, while Solrock's circular form and similar typing evoked solar power. Their shared origins implied they arrived from space together, perhaps as fragments of a larger celestial body. Neither achieved competitive prominence, but their thematic pairing made them iconic as a duo. Claydol, the Claydol Pokémon, evolved from Baltoy and drew inspiration from ancient figurines and totems. Its design featured multiple arms and a levitating body, suggesting supernatural animation. Claydol's psychic ground typing granted it useful resistances and immunities, making it a reliable pivot in battles. The Pokémon's expressionless face and mechanical movements conveyed an eerie, unnatural quality, as though it were an artifact brought to life by forgotten magic. It appeared frequently in ruins and deserts, reinforcing its connection to ancient civilizations. Whiscash, the Whiskers Pokémon, lurked in murky waters throughout Hoenn, notable for being a common yet frustrating encounter when fishing. Its design blended catfish features with a jovial personality, creating a creature that seemed harmless despite its water-ground typing. Whiscash's ability to predict earthquakes, referenced in its Pokédex entry, tied into real-world legends about catfish causing seismic activity in Japanese folklore. This cultural connection added depth to an otherwise unremarkable Pokémon. Crawdaunt, the rogue Pokémon, evolved from Corphish and embodied aggressive territoriality. Its crayfish-inspired design featured massive claws and a star-shaped marking on its head, giving it a menacing appearance. Crawdaunt's dark water typing provided useful offensive coverage, though its low speed hindered its competitive potential. The Pokémon's behavior, battling others for dominance and claiming territory, mirrored real crayfish, grounding its design in natural inspiration while exaggerating traits for dramatic effect. Melodic's rarity and beauty made it one of Hoenn's most sought-after Pokémon. Beyond the difficulty of finding Phoebus, evolving it required dedication to contests and berry cultivation. The resulting creature felt earned in ways that level-based evolutions never could. Melodic's graceful design, featuring flowing fins and a serpentine body, conveyed elegance that contrasted sharply with Phoebus's drab appearance. This transformation narrative resonated emotionally, reinforcing themes of inner worth and perseverance. Altaria, the humming Pokémon, evolved from Swablu and gained dragon typing alongside its natural flying type. Its design resembled a bird wrapped in clouds, with soft, cotton-like wings that gave it an ethereal quality. Altaria's gentle nature, described in Pokédex entries as singing beautiful melodies, made it seem peaceful rather than fierce. Despite its dragon typing, Altaria lacked the raw power of other dragons, instead filling a more defensive and supportive role. Its mega evolution in later generations added fairy typing, enhancing its defensive capabilities. Seviper and Zangoose represented natural enemies, engaged in perpetual conflict. Seviper, a poison-type serpent, used venom and stealth to attack, while Zangoose, a normal-type mongoose, relied on speed and sharp claws. This predator-prey dynamic reflected real-world relationships between snakes and mongooses. The two species appeared as version exclusives in Ruby and Sapphire, with Seviper found in Sapphire and Zangoose in Ruby. This exclusivity reinforced their rivalry, making it impossible to encounter both in a single playthrough without trading. Relicanth, the longevity Pokémon, represented ancient oceanic life, unchanged for millions of years. Its design drew from coelacanths, fish thought extinct until rediscovered in the 20th century. Relicanth's rock-water typing reflected its ancient origins, while its high defense and attack stats made it a formidable physical presence. The Pokémon played a key role in unlocking the Regi Chambers, serving as part of the puzzle solution. This functional importance elevated Relicanth beyond its rarity, giving it narrative significance. Wailord, the float whale Pokémon, held the title of largest Pokémon by height and weight at the time of Hoenn's release. Its massive size, measuring over 14 meters long, made it comically oversized in battle animations in the overworld. Despite its bulk, Wailord's stat distribution leaned toward HP rather than defense, making it surprisingly fragile. The contrast between appearance and durability created humorous situations where this titan fainted to attacks from much smaller opponents. Wailord also played a role in the Regi puzzle, paired with Relicanth, to unlock the chambers. Tropius, the fruit Pokémon, combined dinosaur and plant aesthetics into a creature that felt both ancient and nurturing. Its design featured banana-like fruit growing from its neck, which it shared with others. Tropius's grass-flying typing and ability to learn fly made it a practical choice for traversal, while its gentle nature, described in Pokédex entries, suggested peaceful coexistence with humans. The Pokémon's presence in jungles and tropical routes reinforced Hoenn's lush environment, adding to the region's biodiversity. Chimecho, the wind chime Pokémon, produced soothing sounds through its hollow body, creating melodies that carried on the breeze. Its psychic typing and ethereal design suggested mystical origins, as though it were a spirit given physical form. Chimecho's rarity, found only on the summit of Mount Pyre, made it a prized encounter for collectors. Despite its elusive nature, the Pokémon lacked competitive strength, remaining more of a curiosity than a powerhouse. Still, its unique appearance and gentle lore made it memorable. Absol's dark typing and tragic lore made it a favorite among players who appreciated misunderstood characters. Its mega evolution in later generations enhanced its already impressive attack stat, transforming it into a formidable sweeper. The design of Mega Absol added wing-like extensions and flowing hair, giving it an angelic appearance that contrasted with its dark typing. This visual contradiction reinforced the theme of misunderstood heroism, showing that darkness didn't equate to evil. Breloom, the mushroom Pokémon, evolved from Shroomish and gained fighting typing alongside its grass type. Its design featured a kangaroo-like posture and boxing gloves that resembled mushroom caps. Breloom's access to the move Spore, which guaranteed sleep, made it a powerful disruptor in battles. Combined with its Technician ability, which boosted weak moves, Breloom became a versatile threat despite modest stats. Its dual typing provided unique resistances, allowing it to pivot into fights other grass types couldn't handle. Gardevoir, the Embrace Pokémon, evolved from Ralts through Kirlia and became one of Hoenn's most iconic psychic types. Its elegant, humanoid design suggested grace and empathy, while its Pokédex entries described it forming deep bonds with trainers and creating black holes to protect those it loved. Gardevoir's special attack and special defense made it a potent, offensive and defensive presence. Later generations added a fairy typing and introduced Galad, a male evolution of Kirlia, creating a branched evolutionary line that expanded narrative possibilities. Hariyama, the arm-thrust Pokémon, evolved from Makuhita and embodied sumo wrestling aesthetics. Its massive build and fighting typing made it a physical powerhouse, capable of delivering devastating blows. Hariyama's design featured a belt and stance that directly referenced sumo traditions, grounding its appearance in cultural inspiration. Despite its strength, Hariyama's low speed and limited defensive typing prevented it from dominating competitive play. Still, its role as Brawly's signature Pokémon and its imposing presence made it regionally significant. Exploud, the Loudnoise Pokémon, evolved from Whismur through Loudred and specialized in sound-based attacks. Its design featured massive ears and tubes that amplified noise to destructive levels. Exploud's normal typing granted it access to a wide move pool, while its high HP allowed it to withstand multiple hits. The Pokémon's ability to learn moves like Boom Burst, introduced in later generations, made it a niche but effective special attacker. Its connection to sound reinforced Hoenn's emphasis on sensory experiences and environmental interaction. Nosepass, the Compass Pokémon, featured a design based on Moai statues and magnetic navigation. Its massive nose functioned as a compass, always pointing north due to magnetic forces. Nosepass's rock typing and high defense made it a sturdy wall, though its numerous weaknesses and low speed limited its effectiveness. The Pokémon's evolution into Probopass in later generations added steel typing and magnetic components, enhancing its defensive capabilities. In Hoenn, Nosepass remained primarily Roxanne's signature Pokémon, representing the first gym challenge. Skitty and Delcatty formed a cute and elegant evolutionary line, with Skitty resembling a playful kitten and Delcatty a refined feline. Delcatty's normal typing and balanced stats made it versatile but unremarkable competitively. However, its charm and appeal won over casual players, and it performed well in contests due to its graceful appearance. Delcatty's Normalize ability, which turned all its moves into normal type, created niche strategies but rarely saw serious use. The evolutionary line exemplified Hoenn's emphasis on personality and aesthetics over raw power. Spinda, the Spot Panda Pokémon, featured a unique gimmick. Each individual Spinda had a different spot pattern generated by its personality value. This meant no two Spinda looked exactly alike, creating millions of possible variations. While this individuality was charming, Spinda's low stats and limited move pool prevented it from being competitively viable. Its drunken, swaying animation and teeter dance move which confused all nearby Pokémon, reinforced its quirky identity. Spinda became a symbol of Hoenn's playful creativity. Plosley and Minun, the cheering Pokémon, represented positive and negative electrical charges. Both were electric types, with identical stats, distinguished only by appearance and minor ability differences. Their designs featured red and blue coloring respectively, with plus and minus symbols on their tails. Plosley and Minun excelled in double battles, where their abilities boosted ally special attacks or defenses. Despite this niche use, they rarely appeared in competitive play due to superior electric-type alternatives. Their cuteness and thematic pairing made them popular among collectors. Volbeat and Illumise, the Firefly Pokémon, represented gender differences within a species before gender mechanics were fully developed. Volbeat, the male, had a glowing tail that produced complex light patterns, while Illumise, the female, used sweet scent to attract Volbeat. Their bug-flying typing and modest stats relegated them to obscurity in competitive circles, but their ecological relationship added realism to Hoenn's biodiversity. The two species appeared together in the wild, reinforcing their connection. Roselia, the thorn Pokémon, evolved from Budeau and later into Roserade in subsequent generations. In Hoenn, Roselia represented the final stage, a grass poison type with balanced stats and access to strong special moves. Its design featured roses for hands, with one red and one blue, symbolizing contrasting poisons. Roselia's role in contests, particularly beauty and coolness categories, made it a popular choice for coordinators. Its elegant appearance and dual typing created strategic depth despite limited competitive use. Cacturne, the scarecrow Pokémon, evolved from Cacnea and combined desert survival with eerie aesthetics. Its grass-dark typing reflected its nocturnal habits and harsh environment, while its design featured a tattered appearance that suggested weathering and age. Cacturne's Pokédex entries described it stalking prey through deserts, creating an ominous presence that contrasted with most grass types' gentle reputations. Despite interesting typing, Cacturne's low speed and mediocre stats limited its viability. Ludicolo, the carefree Pokémon, evolved from Lombre and gained a festive, dance-inspired design. Its watergrass typing and access to the Rain Dish ability made it effective in rain-based teams. Ludicolo's cheerful appearance, featuring a sombrero-like lily pad and a perpetual smile, contrasted with its solid competitive performance. The Pokémon became iconic for its upbeat personality and role in weather-based strategies, particularly rain teams that dominated certain competitive eras. Shiftry, the wicked Pokémon, evolved from Nuzleaf and completed a grass-dark evolutionary line. Its design drew from Tengu, Japanese mythological creatures known for mischief and wind manipulation. Shiftry's long-nosed mask and leaf fan hands reinforced this inspiration, while its decent attack and speed stats made it a usable physical attacker. The Pokémon's access to moves like Leaf Blade and Sucker Punch provided offensive utility, though its defensive frailty prevented widespread competitive adoption. Pelipper, the waterbird Pokémon, evolved from Wingull and became ubiquitous across Hoenn's coastal routes. Its water-flying typing and ability to learn both surf and fly made it practical for traversal. Later generations granted Pelipper the Drizzle ability, which summoned rain automatically, transforming it from forgettable to competitively relevant. In Hoenn, however, it remained primarily a utility Pokémon valued for convenience rather than strength. Masquerain, the eyeball Pokémon, evolved from Surskit and underwent a dramatic transformation. Surskit's bug water typing shifted to bug flying upon evolution, creating one of the few instances where a Pokemon's type changed so drastically. Masquerain's design featured large, intimidating eye spots on its wings meant to scare predators. Despite interesting aesthetics, its stats failed to support competitive viability, relegating it to Dex completion and casual use. Azurill, the polka dot Pokemon, served as a baby form of Marill, introduced through Hoenn's breeding mechanics. Its design featured a large head and a tail that resembled a water balloon, which it bounced on like a ball. Azurill's normal typing, which changed to water upon evolving into Marill, created a unique evolutionary quirk. The Pokemon appeared on Mirage Island, a rare location accessible only under specific conditions, adding to its mystique. Wynot, the bright Pokemon, functioned as Wobbuffet's baby form and shared its counter-attacking playstyle. Wynot's design resembled a small, cheerful creature with a permanent smile, contrasting with its strategic complexity. Its Shadow Tag ability prevented opponents from fleeing, creating frustrating situations for players unprepared for prolonged battles. Wynot appeared in the wild only on Mirage Island, making it another rare encounter tied to that elusive location. Kecleon's role in the story extended beyond battles. 2 invisible Kecleon blocked progression early in the game, requiring the Devon scope to reveal them. This puzzle tied into the narrative about Devon Corporation and Team Aqua's theft of important technology. The encounter demonstrated how Pokémon could serve as obstacles and narrative devices beyond combat, integrating them into the world's logic. The Abandoned Ship, a partially sunken vessel found along Route 108, housed hidden items and rare Pokémon. Players needed dive to access submerged chambers where they could find TMs and occasionally encounter wild Pokémon. The ship's eerie atmosphere with rusted metal and flooded corridors created a sense of exploration and discovery. It felt like delving into forgotten history, uncovering secrets lost to time and tide. Shoal Cave, accessible only during specific tidal conditions, featured ice-covered chambers that changed with the water level. High tide flooded certain areas, while low tide exposed new paths and items. This dynamic environment rewarded players who revisited locations at different times, reinforcing Hoenn's emphasis on natural cycles. Inside, players could collect shoal salt and shoal shells, which could be traded to an NPC for rare items. The Safari Zone, located near Lily Cove City, offered a unique catching experience where players used bait and rocks instead of battling. This created a game of chance and patience, as Pokémon could flee at any moment. The zone housed rare species found nowhere else in Hoenn, making it a necessary stop for Dex completion. Its mechanics, inherited from earlier generations, added variety to catching methods. The Weather Institute, targeted by Team Aqua during the story, studied meteorological patterns and their effects on Pokémon. Scientists there gifted the player a cast form after the crisis was resolved, symbolizing gratitude and continued research. The Institute's presence reinforced Hoenn's thematic focus on weather and environmental conditions, grounding fantastical elements in scientific inquiry. Mount Pyre, a resting place for deceased Pokémon, carried solemn atmosphere and spiritual significance. Tombstones dotted the mountain, while ghost-type Pokémon drifted through the grounds. At the summit, elderly caretakers guarded the Red Orb and Blue Orb, artifacts tied to Groudon and Kyogre. Team Magma and Aqua's theft of these orbs escalated the conflict, leading to the awakening of the ancient legendaries. Mount Pyre's role as both cemetery and plot catalyst made it one of Hoenn's most memorable locations. The Sky Pillar, a crumbling tower accessible only after the legendary conflict began, housed Rayquaza at its peak. Navigating the tower required a mock bike to cross fragile floors that cracked under slow movement. The challenge of reaching the top mirrored the gravity of the situation. Only by summoning Rayquaza could the player halt Groudon and Kyogre's battle. The tower's height and precarious design suggested it was built to reach the heavens, a bridge between earth and sky. Sootopolis City, built inside a dormant volcanic crater and accessible only by diving into an underwater cavern, represented Hoenn's most secluded settlement. The city's architecture featured white stone buildings arranged in tiers, creating a striking visual against the blue water. Sootopolis became the focal point of the legendary battle, where Groudon and Kyogre clashed in the crater's center. The city's isolation and dramatic geography made it the perfect setting for the climax. Pacifidlog Town, a floating settlement built on the backs of Corsola, embodied Hoenn's harmonious relationship with nature. The town drifted slowly across the ocean, with homes constructed from driftwood and tethered together by rope. Residents spoke of Mirage Island, an even rarer location that appeared randomly nearby. Pacifidlog's unique construction and nomadic existence made it one of the most unusual towns in any Pokémon region. Mirage Island's appearance depended on a hidden value generated daily, matching against the personality values of Pokémon in the player's party. The odds of a match were incredibly slim, making sightings extraordinarily rare. Players spent years attempting to reach the island, which housed Wynot and a single lychee berry tree. The island's elusiveness became legendary among fans, spawning countless theories and frustrations. Evergrande City, home to the Pokémon League, was accessible only after collecting all 8 gym badges and navigating Victory Road. The city's grand architecture and waterfall backdrop conveyed the gravity of the final challenge. Inside, the Elite Four and Champion waited, testing the culmination of the player's journey. Defeating them marked the official end of the story, though post-game content extended the adventure. Victory Road, the final dungeon before the League, tested navigational skills with complex puzzles involving strength boulders and flashlit passages. Strong trainers ambushed players, ensuring only well-prepared teams advanced. The cave's layout, with multiple floors connected by ladders and waterfalls, created a labyrinthine structure that felt appropriately climactic. Emerging victorious from Victory Road signaled readiness for the ultimate battles. The seafloor cavern, hidden beneath the ocean and accessible only through diving, served as the location where Team Aqua awakened Kyogre. The cavern's submerged chambers and ancient architecture suggested it was a temple built in ages past. Reaching the innermost chamber required navigating underwater currents and solving environmental puzzles, culminating in the encounter with the legendary beast. The Cave of Origin, accessible only during the story's climax, housed Groudon in the Sapphire version and served as a counterpart to the seafloor cavern. The cave's intense heat and volcanic rock reinforced Groudon's association with land and magma. The player's entry into the cave marked a turning point where intervention became necessary to prevent catastrophe. Granite Cave, one of Hoenn's earliest dungeons, required Flash to navigate its darker depths. The cave housed Steel-type Pokémon like Aaron, along with wild Makuhita sought after for training. Steven Stone could be encountered here, searching for rare stones and offering insight into his character. The cave's multiple levels and hidden chambers rewarded thorough exploration. Meteor Falls, a location tied to space and cosmic phenomena, housed dragon-type Pokémon and served as a key story location. Team Magma attempted to steal a meteorite here, prompting the player to intervene. The fall's connection to meteors and dragons created a mythic atmosphere, reinforced by encounters with rare Pokémon like Bagon. Returning later allowed access to deeper chambers where Solrock and Lunatone appeared. New Mauville, an underground power plant, accessible after receiving a request from Watson, contained electric-type Pokémon and powerful TMs. The facility's abandoned state and flickering lights created an eerie industrial atmosphere. The quest to shut down the generator highlighted environmental concerns about technology running unchecked, a recurring theme in Hoenn's narrative. The scorched slab, a small cave hidden in a route, contained nothing but a single TM and a connection to future content. Its existence hinted at mysteries left unresolved, locations significant in lore, if not gameplay. Such places added depth to Hoenn, suggesting the region extended beyond what players directly experienced. Island Cave, Desert Ruins, and Ancient Tomb, the three chambers housing the Regi trio, represented architectural styles from different eras. Each required specific steps to unlock, involving reading Braille inscriptions and performing precise actions. The puzzle's complexity and cultural accessibility made them memorable challenges that transcended typical game obstacles. Lily Cove City, Hoenn's largest urban center, featured a department store, contest hall, and museum. The city's bustling atmosphere contrasted with smaller towns, creating a sense of progression and civilization. Team Aqua's hideout was located nearby, hidden in a cove accessible only by surfing. Lily Cove's blend of culture and conflict made it a hub for both peaceful and dramatic events. Moss Deep City, home to a space center and psychic-type gym, embodied Hoenn's connection to the cosmos. The Space Center launched rockets regularly, with scientists studying the stars and meteorites. The city's gym leaders, Tate and Liza, specialized in double battles, reinforcing the format's importance to Hoenn's identity. Moss Deep's focus on science and space exploration grounded fantastical elements in technological ambition. Fortree City's treetop construction made it visually distinct and logistically challenging. Rope bridges connected platforms built high in the canopy, creating a sense of verticality rare in Pokémon towns. Winona, the flying-type gym leader, resided here, fitting the aerial theme. Fortree's design suggested harmony with nature, building upward rather than clearing forests. Laveridge Town, nestled at the base of Mount Chimney, featured hot springs believed to heal ailments. The town's volcanic proximity influenced its economy and culture, with residents embracing the geothermal features. Flannery, the fire-type gym leader, trained here, embodying the town's fiery spirit. Laveridge's small size and specialized identity made it feel intimate and purposeful. Fowlerbor Town, located near Meteor Falls, served as a quiet agricultural settlement. The town's ash-covered fields, affected by Mount Chimney's eruptions, created a gray, subdued landscape. Contest halls and move tutors provided services, making Fowlerbor a functional stop despite its modest appearance. The town's connection to both farming and cosmic events created interesting thematic contrasts. Verdanturf Town, connected to Rustboro City by a tunnel, offered tranquil respite from the adventure. The town prided itself on clean air and peaceful living, attracting residents seeking escape from urban centers. A contest hall here allowed players to showcase Pokémon in a calm setting. Verdanturf's simplicity and focus on quality of life made it memorable for understated reasons. Mauville City sat at the center of Hoenn's road network, connecting to routes in all directions. The city's layout, with a game corner and bike shop, made it a commercial hub. Watson, the electric-type gym leader, operated a gym filled with electrical barriers and switch puzzles. Mauville's centrality and connectivity reinforced its role as a crossroads of commerce and travel. Slateport City, a coastal metropolis, featured a busy market, shipyard, and museum. The city's economic vitality stemmed from its port, which facilitated trade and travel. Team Aqua's presence here attempting to steal submarine technology, tied the city into the larger conflict. Slateport's blend of civilian life and organizational intrigue made it feel layered and complex. Rustboro City, the first major urban area players encountered, housed the Devon Corporation headquarters and Roxanne's Rock-type gym. The city's role as a technological center established early themes of innovation and progress. Interactions with Devon employees and the president shaped the player's understanding of corporate influence in Hoenn. Rustboro's position as an early milestone made it foundational to the journey. Dewford Town, isolated on an island, relied on sea travel for connection to the mainland. The town's small population and tight-knit community created an intimate atmosphere. Brawley's fighting-type gym, located in a cave beneath the island, tested the player's ability to navigate dark spaces. Dewford's seclusion and simplicity contrasted with larger cities, highlighting Hoenn's geographic diversity. Oldale Town and Little Root Town, the starting locations, established the player's origins and early journey. Little Root's lab, where Professor Birch worked, introduced the starter Pokémon and initial objectives. Oldale's position as the first stop beyond home created a sense of departure and possibility. Both towns' modest sizes and peaceful atmospheres grounded the adventure's beginning in simplicity. The Battle Tower in Hoenn's original Ruby and Sapphire introduced in-game competitive challenges. Players faced increasingly difficult AI trainers in elimination-style tournaments, testing team composition and strategy. The tower's rewards, including rare items and TMs, incentivized repeated attempts. Its presence laid groundwork for the expanded Battle Frontier in Emerald. The Trainer Hill, located on Route 111, offered timed battles against groups of trainers. Players raced to defeat all opponents within a time limit, earning better rewards for faster completions. The hill's competitive structure and emphasis on speed created unique challenges distinct from standard battles. The Battle Tent, found in Verdanturf Town, Fowlerbore Town, and Slateport City, served as simplified versions of Battle Frontier facilities. Each tent mirrored a specific Frontier format, giving players previews of later challenges. While less elaborate than their counterparts, the tents provided accessible competitive experiences for casual players. Berry cultivation introduced agricultural mechanics, allowing players to grow and harvest berries for Pokéblocks and held items. Soft soil patches scattered throughout Hoenn supported different berry types, which matured at varying rates. Watering planted berries accelerated growth, rewarding diligent care. The system encouraged regular check-ins and planning, creating a passive but engaging side activity. Pokéblocks, created by blending berries, enhanced specific contest stats like beauty or coolness. The blending process involved a minigame where up to 4 players spun a device to combine ingredients. Better timing and berry quality produced higher-level Pokéblocks, which more effectively boosted stats. The system rewarded experimentation and knowledge of berry properties. Held items gained prominence in Hoenn, with many species found holding berries or other objects. These items ranged from healing berries to type-boosting plates, expanding strategic options. Pokémon like Pelipper commonly held valuable items, incentivizing repeated encounters. The mechanic encouraged thorough exploration and combat engagement beyond simple capturing. The Pokédex's regional variant included 135 species, focusing on Hoenn natives before unlocking the national dex post-game. This limitation emphasized the region's unique ecosystem, preventing players from relying solely on favorites from earlier generations. The national dex, unlocked after defeating the Elite Four, expanded available species significantly, allowing transfers from previous games. Abilities made their debut in Hoenn, fundamentally altering how Pokémon functioned in and out of battle. Each species received one or two potential abilities that activated automatically under specific conditions. Some abilities affected battle mechanics directly, like Intimidate, lowering opponent attack stats, while others influenced the overworld, like Illuminate, increasing wild encounter rates. The system added strategic depth without overwhelming casual players, as abilities functioned passively without requiring active management. Weather abilities transformed competitive play by automating what previously required move setup. Drizzle summoned rain automatically upon entering battle, while Drought brought harsh sunlight, Sandstream created sandstorms, and Snow Warning initiated hail. Pokémon with these abilities became centerpieces of weather teams, dictating pace and strategy from the moment battle began. The automation meant weather lasted indefinitely in Hoenn's original games, creating environments where entire teams were built around maintaining or countering specific conditions. Arena Trap and Shadow Tag, abilities that prevented opponents from fleeing or switching, introduced psychological warfare into battles. Pokémon like Trapinch and Wobbuffet used these abilities to lock opponents into unfavorable matchups, forcing difficult decisions. In the wild, these abilities made escaping encounters nearly impossible, creating frustration when players simply wanted to move through routes. The tension between strategic utility and annoying encounters highlighted how abilities could be double-edged. Speed Boost, an ability that increased speed each turn, appeared on Ninjask and later became competitively significant. The gradual acceleration allowed Pokémon to outpace opponents over time, creating snowball effects where maintaining momentum became crucial. Combined with Baton Pass, Speed Boost allowed Ninjask to transfer accumulated boosts to teammates, creating powerful setup strategies. This ability demonstrated how seemingly simple effects could generate complex tactical possibilities. Synchronize, which shared status conditions with opponents, turned afflictions into weapons. Pokémon with Synchronize could absorb paralysis or poison and immediately reflect it back, deterring status-based strategies. The ability also affected wild encounters, increasing the likelihood of finding Pokémon with matching natures. This dual functionality, combining battle utility with encounter manipulation, showcased thoughtful design that rewarded knowledge. Magma Armor and Water Veil prevented burns and freezing respectively, providing type-neutral defensive options. These abilities protected Pokémon that would otherwise suffer from elemental weaknesses, allowing them to function in roles that typing alone might prohibit. Magma Armor also halved egg hatching time in the overworld, adding practical value beyond combat. Such dual-purpose abilities encouraged experimentation and rewarded players who explored mechanics thoroughly. Pickup, an ability that randomly generated items after battles, introduced a passive reward system. Pokémon like Zigzagoon and Lanoone with Pickup could produce rare items, including revives, full restores, and even rare candies at higher levels. Players often kept Pickup users in their party specifically for item generation, turning routine encounters into potential treasure hunts. The randomness added excitement, as any battle could yield unexpected rewards. Compound Eyes increased accuracy, making typically unreliable moves more consistent. Pokémon like Dustox benefited from this ability, landing moves that would otherwise miss frequently. In the overworld, Compound Eyes increased the likelihood of wild Pokémon holding items, creating utility beyond combat. This dual application made the ability valuable for both battlers and collectors. Soundproof immunity to sound-based moves created niche defensive roles. Pokémon like Whismur's evolutionary line ignored moves like Perish Song and Screech, allowing them to function in situations where others couldn't. While situational, this immunity demonstrated how specific abilities countered specific strategies, encouraging diverse team compositions. The Hoenn region's day and night cycle was notably absent in Ruby and Sapphire, a technical limitation of the Game Boy Advance hardware. This meant time-based events like Eevee's evolution into Umbreon or Espeon required different mechanics. Eevee evolved based on friendship in specific game versions rather than time of day, creating version-specific evolution paths. The absence felt strange to players familiar with Gold and Silver's day-night transitions, but Emerald would later implement a simplified internal clock. The Pokémon Communication Center replaced the time capsule and trade corner of previous generations, streamlining multiplayer interactions. Located in select Pokémon centers, these facilities allowed trading and battling with minimal setup. The GBA's link cable supported up to 4 simultaneous connections, enabling group activities like multi-battle tournaments. This infrastructure made Hoenn more socially connected than earlier regions. Mystery Gift, activated through a combination of button presses at the title screen, allowed players to receive special items and decorations wirelessly. This feature required 2 Game Boy Advances in close proximity, creating spontaneous opportunities for surprise exchanges. The system encouraged socializing at school or community events, as players never knew what they might receive. Mystery gift items, often exclusive decorations for secret bases, added collectible value beyond gameplay utility. The Eon Ticket, distributed through special events and e-reader functionality, granted access to Southern Island, where the opposite Eon Duo member appeared. Ruby players could encounter Latias, while Sapphire players found Latios. This version-exclusive encounter required either attending an official event or using the e-reader accessory with specific cards. The scarcity of the Eon Ticket made Southern Island one of Hoenn's most exclusive locations. E-reader compatibility allowed scanning of special cards to unlock content like trainer battles and berry patches. This peripheral, more popular in Japan than internationally, added physical collectibles to the Pokémon experience. Special promotional cards granted access to unique trainers with rare items as rewards. While niche, e-reader support demonstrated Game Freak's willingness to experiment with hardware integration. The Pokémon Box Ruby and Sapphire storage system for GameCube allowed players to store up to 1,500 Pokémon externally. This utility became essential for serious collectors and breeders who quickly filled PC boxes. The GameCube connection also enabled unique bonuses, like receiving special eggs or unlocking Jirachi. This cross-platform functionality expanded Hoenn's ecosystem beyond the handheld experience. Pokémon Colosseum and XD, Gale of Darkness, GameCube titles set in the Ore region, allowed shadow Pokémon to be purified and transferred to Ruby and Sapphire. These games introduced Pokémon unavailable through normal Hoenn gameplay, including certain legendary beasts and exclusive species. The connection between handheld and console created a broader Pokémon universe, encouraging players to engage with multiple titles. Fire Red and Leaf Green, remakes of the original Red and Blue, connected seamlessly with Hoenn games once specific conditions were met. After defeating the Elite Four and obtaining the National Dex, players could transfer Kanto Pokémon forward, completing collections and enabling cross-generational teams. This connectivity respected player investment, ensuring efforts across different games contributed to a unified collection. Emerald's introduction of the Battle Frontier represented the most significant post-game expansion in Pokémon history at that time. 7 facilities, each with unique rules and challenges, tested different aspects of competitive understanding. Frontier Brains, powerful trainers who served as facility bosses, required multiple victories to challenge and defeat. Earning gold symbols from all brains became a badge of honor among competitive players, signifying mastery across diverse formats. The Battle Pike emphasized luck and risk management, with rooms offering random effects. Players navigated paths without seeing what lay ahead, choosing between doors that could heal, damage, or afflict status conditions. The Pike's unpredictability frustrated some while entertaining others, creating a gambling-like experience where skill met chance. Winning here required accepting randomness while making statistically sound choices. The battle arena judged battles not by knockouts, but by performance across 3 categories: mind, skill, and body. If 3 turns passed without a decisive outcome, judges determined the winner based on aggression, accuracy, and remaining HP. This format discouraged stalling and rewarded offensive play, creating tense situations where passive strategies failed. The arena forced players to engage actively rather than waiting for opponents to make mistakes. The Battle Factory's rental system received enhanced complexity in Emerald, with opponents swapping Pokémon mid-challenge. This forced players to adapt repeatedly, as teams that worked initially might become obsolete after trades. The factory tested flexibility and fundamental knowledge more than specific Pokémon expertise, making it accessible yet challenging. Success required an understanding type matchups and move effects across the entire Pokédex. The Battle Dome operated as a single elimination tournament where players viewed opponent teams before matches. This information allowed strategic planning, choosing Pokémon specifically to counter revealed threats. The Dome rewarded scouting and adaptation, as matchup knowledge proved more valuable than raw team strength. Progressing through brackets created tournament atmosphere rare in Pokémon's single-player experience. The Battle Palace removed player control entirely, with Pokémon acting according to their natures. Aggressive natures favored attacking moves, while defensive natures prioritized status and protection. Players could only observe, hoping their team's natural tendencies aligned with effective strategies. The palace's lack of control created unique tension, as winning required trusting Pokémon rather than commanding them. This format challenged players to think about team building from entirely new angles. The Battle Pyramid functioned as a dungeon crawler, with floors containing wild Pokémon and trainers. Limited visibility and gradual item depletion created resource management challenges. Players needed to balance exploration for items against conservation of HP and PP. The pyramid's exploration emphasis distinguished it from other facilities, blending adventure elements with competitive battling. The Battle Tower's straightforward format made it the most popular facility, emphasizing pure combat prowess. Consecutive wins built streaks that unlocked better rewards, with in every 7th battle featuring a tougher opponent. The tower's simplicity appealed to players who wanted challenge without gimmicks, creating an environment where team quality and strategic execution mattered most. Frontier Brains employed legendary Pokémon and pseudo-legendaries with perfect stats, creating intimidating final challenges. Their teams showcased optimal strategies and competitive level movesets, teaching players what high-level battling resembled. Defeating a brain required understanding not just type advantages, but also predicted strategies and counterplay. These battles represented peak difficulty in Hoenn's single-player content. Scott's enigmatic nature added narrative intrigue to the battle frontier. His motivations for building the facility and selecting the player remained deliberately vague, creating an air of mystery. Some speculated he sought worthy challengers, for personal reasons, while others imagined broader organizational goals. Scott's casual demeanor belied the intensity of challenges he oversaw, making him a memorable character despite limited screen time. Battle points earned through frontier victories could be exchanged for rare items and move tutors. Items like Choice Band and Focus Band provided competitive advantages unavailable elsewhere, making frontier participation essential for serious battlers. Move tutors taught exclusive moves like Thunder Punch and Earthquake, expanding Pokemon's strategic options. The economy of battle points created long-term goals that extended Hoenn's replay value indefinitely. Ribbons awarded for various achievements, including contest victories and frontier challenges, added collectible metagame. Pokémon could display ribbons in their summary screens, showcasing accomplishments. Dedicated players pursued full ribbon sets, completing every contest category and defeating every frontier brain. Ribbons transformed Pokémon into trophies, tangible reminders of shared achievements and adventures. Natures, introduced in Ruby and Sapphire, assigned personality traits that affected stat growth. Each nature increased one stat by 10% while decreasing another, creating meaningful differences between individual Pokémon. Adamant Nature boosted attack at the expense of special attack, while Modest did the inverse. This system added depth to breeding and training as competitive players sought optimal natures for specific roles. Individual values, hidden stats that determined potential, gained prominence in Hoenn. These values ranged from 0 to 31 for each stat, with higher IVs producing stronger Pokémon. Competitive breeders pursued perfect IVs through careful pairing and extensive hatching. The system rewarded patience and knowledge, creating endgame pursuits beyond simply catching rare species. Effort values, accumulated through battling specific Pokémon, allowed customization of stat growth. Defeating Machop granted attack EVs, while battling Ralts yielded special attack EVs. Players could maximize two stats or balance across multiple, tailoring Pokémon to specific roles. EV training transformed casual catches into competitive contenders, demonstrating that any Pokémon could excel with proper preparation. Breeding mechanics expanded with the introduction of egg moves and inherited abilities. Certain moves could only be learned by hatching Pokémon whose parents knew compatible techniques. This created genealogical puzzles where obtaining specific move combinations required careful breeding chains. Abilities also inherited according to complex rules, adding another layer to optimization. Breeding became a game within the game, appealing to players who enjoyed long-term projects. The Everstone, when held during breeding, passed the holder's nature to offspring. This item proved essential for competitive breeding, eliminating randomness from nature inheritance. Combined with Ditto's universal compatibility, the Everstone allowed an efficient production of Pokémon with desired traits. Such mechanics demonstrated how items could influence outcomes beyond battles. Hidden Power, a move whose type depended on IV combination, introduced another optimization vector. Breeders pursuing specific hidden power types needed precise IV spreads, adding complexity to already intricate processes. The move's variable typing allowed Pokémon to cover weaknesses they otherwise couldn't address, making it valuable despite moderate base power. Hidden Power exemplified how hidden mechanics affected visible gameplay. Pokerus, a beneficial virus that doubled EV gain, appeared rarely but spread through party contact. Infected Pokémon gained permanent benefits even after recovering, making Pokerus highly desirable among competitive players. The virus's rarity, with odds even lower than encountering shinies, made infections treasured events. Players often preserved Pokerus in PC boxes to prevent its natural expiration, treating it as precious resource. The battle tent rotation system allowed players to experience frontier formats before reaching the post-game. Each tent mirrored a specific facility, giving previews of later challenges. This design choice introduced competitive concepts gradually, helping players understand formats they would eventually face. The tents served educational purposes while providing accessible challenge for mid-game teams. Contest stats, coolness, beauty, cuteness, cleverness, and toughness required different approaches to maximize. Feeding specific Pokéblocks increased relevant stats, while move selection during performances affected judging outcomes. Coordinating appearance, stats, and move execution created layered preparation comparable to battle training. Contests rewarded different forms of expertise, appealing to players less interested in combat. Contest categories ran from normal to master rank, with difficulty escalating across tiers. Winning all ranks in a single category earned the Pokémon a ribbon, commemorating achievement. Master rank contests featured AI opponents with perfectly optimized contest stats, requiring equally optimized participants to compete. These high-level contests demonstrated that coordination demanded similar dedication to battling. The appeal system during contest performances measured crowd reactions to move demonstrations. Moves matched to contest categories generated higher appeal, while poor matches reduced effectiveness. Combo sequences, where specific moves followed each other, created appeal multipliers. Understanding which moves created combos required experimentation or external research, adding discovery elements to contest preparation. Nervousness accumulated when Pokémon with similar contest stats competed simultaneously, reduced performance quality. Managing nervousness required strategic move use and timing, preventing opponents from degrading your appeal. The mechanic introduced competitive tension into contests, transforming them from simple showcases into strategic competitions. Players needed to anticipate opponent moves and adjust performances reactively. Pokémon with contest-specific ribbons displayed them prominently in summary screens, creating visible markers of coordination achievements. Some players pursued complete ribbon collections across all 5 categories and 4 ranks, requiring 20 ribbons per Pokémon. This completionist goal mirrored competitive battling achievements, showing that mastery extended beyond type advantages and damage calculations. Hoenn's soundtrack, composed primarily by Junichi Masuda, emphasized brass and tropical instrumentation. Trumpets featured prominently in route themes, creating upbeat and adventurous atmospheres. The contrast between energetic exploration music and somber location themes like Mount Pyre demonstrated range and emotional depth. Critics initially mocked the excessive trumpet use, but over time, the soundtrack gained appreciation as iconic and fitting. Legendary battle themes introduced dramatic orchestration that heightened encounter significance. The Regi Trio shared a theme featuring mysterious and ancient-sounding instrumentation befitting their golemic nature. Rayquaza's battle theme built intensity through layered percussion and sweeping melodies, creating epic confrontation atmosphere. These compositions transformed battles from mechanical exchanges into narrative climaxes. Surf and dive themes provided ambient background music that matched underwater exploration. The surf theme carried carefree rhythm suggesting oceanic leisure, while dive's theme felt more mysterious, evoking deep-sea enigmas. These environmental tracks enhanced immersion, making traversal feel intentional rather than mere transition between destinations. Contest hall music shifted tone depending on competition intensity. Normal rank featured playful melodies, while master rank employed grander arrangements, suggesting high stakes. The music's evolution paralleled player progression, rewarding advancement with increasingly impressive compositions. Such attention to audio detail enriched the contest experience beyond visual spectacle. The low health warning, a persistent beeping that accompanied critically damaged Pokémon, became infamous for its intensity. The sound design choice emphasized urgency, though prolonged exposure turned urgency into annoyance. Players developed strong opinions about the beeping, with some appreciating the tension while others found it grating. This divisive element became a memorable, if controversial, part of Hoenn's audio identity. Hoenn's color palette emphasized saturation and brightness, taking full advantage of the Game Boy Advance's screen capabilities. Routes featured vibrant greens, oceans displayed deep blues, and volcanic areas glowed with oranges and reds. This chromatic intensity distinguished Hoenn visually from previous regions, creating a cohesive aesthetic identity. The brightness occasionally caused visibility issues on original GBA screens without backlighting, but overall enhanced visual appeal. Sprite animations improved significantly over previous generations, with Pokémon displaying more dynamic movements. Some species featured two-frame animations that suggested breathing or swaying, while others remained static. These subtle movements added life to battles, making creatures feel animated rather than simply displayed. The limitations of GBA hardware prevented complex animations, but the improvements represented meaningful progress. Battle backgrounds changed based on terrain type, providing environmental context to encounters. Grassroots featured lush vegetation, while cave battles displayed rocky walls, and ocean encounters showed waves. These contextual backgrounds enhanced immersion, grounding battles in specific locations. The variety prevented visual monotony across hundreds of encounters. Secret base decorations ranged from functional furniture to whimsical ornaments. Players could arrange items freely within bases, creating personalized spaces that reflected individual tastes. Some focused on aesthetic harmony, arranging furniture into living room configurations. Others prioritized functionality, placing dolls strategically or creating obstacle courses for visitors. The freedom encouraged creativity and self-expression. Visiting other players' secret bases through mixing records introduced social discovery. Bases appeared in the visitor's game world, allowing exploration and battles against the owner's team. This asynchronous multiplayer created a sense of community without requiring simultaneous connection. Players could experience others' creativity and challenge their teams, fostering friendly competition. The item finder, an essential tool for locating hidden items, required players to systematically search routes and caves. The device emitted sounds indicating nearby items, with intensity correlating to proximity. Thorough item finder use uncovered valuable treasures like nuggets and rare berries, rewarding methodical exploration. The mechanic encouraged attention to environmental detail, transforming routes into puzzle spaces. Repels, items that prevented weak wild encounters, became essential for efficient navigation. Using repels while traversing water routes or long caves saved time and frustration. The strategic use of repels demonstrated how consumables affected gameplay rhythm beyond healing and status recovery. Competitive players often maintained large repel stocks to minimize random interruptions. Rare candy, which instantly granted one level, became highly valued for rapid training. While inefficient for competitive preparation due to missing EV gains, rare candies expedited casual leveling. Players often saved them for legendary Pokémon or Pokémon requiring high levels to evolve. The item's scarcity made each use feel significant, creating tension between immediate gratification and long-term optimization. TMs and HMs taught moves to compatible Pokémon, with HMs requiring specific field abilities. Unlike later generations, where TMs became reusable, Hoenn's TMs broke after one use, making them precious resources. This limitation forced players to consider carefully which Pokémon received which moves, creating strategic tension. HMs like Surf and Fly saw frequent use both in and out of battle, making them essential team inclusions. HM slaves, Pokémon kept solely for field move utility, became common practice. Zigzagoon or Lanoone often filled this role, learning Cut, Rock Smash, and Strength. This pragmatic approach maximized team flexibility, preventing combat-focused Pokémon from wasting move slots on HMs. The concept of HM slaves highlighted how player strategies adapted to game limitations. Fossils, obtained through story events, could be revived into ancient Pokémon at Devon Corporation. The choice between Claw Fossil and Root Fossil meant selecting either Anorith or Lileep, with the other remaining inaccessible without trading. This permanent decision added weight to the selection process, encouraging players to research options before committing. The fossil Pokemon's rock typing and ancient designs tied into Hoenn's prehistoric themes. Anorith, revived from the claw fossil, resembled prehistoric arthropods with massive claws. Its bug rock typing created numerous weaknesses but provided strong offensive presence. Anorith's evolution into Armaldo enhanced its already impressive attack stat, making it a formidable physical attacker despite defensive vulnerabilities. The evolutionary line's design suggested ancient predators adapted for survival. Lileep, revived from the root fossil, mimicked crinoids and other sessile marine organisms. Its rock grass typing created unique defensive properties, with resistance to common water and electric attacks. Lileep's evolution into Cradily maintained the defensive focus, emphasizing special defense and HP over speed. The line's plant-like appearance contrasted with its rock typing, creating visual and mechanical intrigue. The Weather Institute's gift cast form became an experimental partner for many players. Cast form's ability to transform with weather made it versatile but statistically weak. Players who invested in cast form discovered unique applications, using it as weather setter or type coverage option. Despite limited competitive viability, cast form's gimmick made it memorable and fun for casual teams. Steven's gift, Beldum, received after defeating the Elite Four, represented one of the rarest Pokémon available. Beldum's low catch rate and single-use nature made it nearly impossible to obtain through normal encounters. The gift ensured every player could eventually train a Metagross, Steven's signature partner. This generosity contrasted with the difficulty of finding wild Beldum, making the gift feel truly valuable. Latias and Latios' roaming nature created cat and mouse gameplay, where tracking them down required patience and strategy. Mean Look or Arena Trap prevented their escape, while Quick Balls offered slight advantages. The roaming legendaries moved after every encounter, fleeing before players could catch them, creating extended pursuits across multiple routes. Successfully catching roaming Pokémon felt like genuine achievement due to required persistence. Southern Island, accessible only with the Eon ticket, featured a peaceful garden where the opposite legendary waited. The island's serene atmosphere contrasted with the challenge of obtaining access, making visits feel privileged. Latias, or Latios, could be battled here under controlled conditions, unlike their roaming versions. Southern Island represented exclusivity and reward for engaged players. Phoebus Tile's daily rotation made consistent hunting nearly impossible without external resources. Players developed theories about tile patterns and phrase relationships, attempting to predict locations. The frustration of searching led to extensive community collaboration, with players sharing findings online. Phoebus became emblematic of Hoenn's most obtuse challenges, where dedication bordered on masochism. Beauty contests' role in Phoebus' evolution created the interdependence between contest and battle systems. Players who ignored contests faced difficulty evolving Phoebus, forcing engagement with mechanics they might otherwise skip. This design encouraged experiencing all Hoenn content, preventing players from treating contests as purely optional. Melodic's desirability justified the effort, but the requirement remained divisive. Dive spots, marked by darker water patches, hid underwater caverns filled with treasure and rare Pokémon. Players needed HM08 Dive to access these areas, creating progression gates that rewarded exploration. Some spots contained evolutionary stones or valuable TMs, while others led to story-critical locations. The dive mechanic added vertical depth to ocean navigation, transforming flat water routes into multi-layered environments. Sealed Chambers Braille inscriptions required external translation resources or knowledge of Braille. The puzzle's accessibility focus ensured visually impaired players could participate meaningfully, creating an inclusive challenge. The inscription's cryptic instructions, dig here, go up here, required specific actions in specific spots. Solving the puzzle felt like cracking ancient code, rewarding careful observation and willingness to experiment. Island Cave's patience test required players to wait motionless for several minutes. This unusual requirement frustrated action-oriented players while appealing to those who appreciated unconventional puzzles. The test felt thematically appropriate for ice, emphasizing stillness and endurance. Successfully waiting demonstrated commitment beyond simple mechanical skill. Desert Ruins' requirement for specific moves on the party tested preparation and knowledge. Players needed Pokémon knowing specific techniques, forcing team adjustments. This puzzle rewarded diverse team composition and encouraged experimentation with move pools. The ruins' stone construction and desert placement tied into themes of erosion and forgotten civilizations. Ancient Tomb's party position requirements added another layer of specificity to the Regi puzzles. Players needed to arrange their team in precise configurations, reading Braille instructions carefully. This mechanical precision demanded attention to detail rare in Pokémon's typically forgiving design. The tomb's metallic construction suggested advanced technology rather than natural formation. Regis, Regirock, and Registeel's identical stat distributions, but differing typings, created an interesting strategic variations. All three featured high defense and special defense with mediocre offensive stats. Their typings, ice, rock, and steel respectively, determined their roles and weaknesses. This consistency across the trio suggested shared origins while maintaining individual identities. The Regis's dots, arranged in patterns resembling Braille, reinforced the accessibility themes present in their unlocking puzzles. These visual markers suggested the golems were created by beings who valued communication across barriers. The dots also served as faces, giving otherwise featureless creatures recognizable expressions. This design choice blended function with symbolism effectively. Hoenn's remakes, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, released in 2014 for the Nintendo 3DS. These remakes modernized mechanics while preserving core experiences, introducing Mega Evolution and updated graphics. The remakes sparked debates about which version represented the definitive Hoenn experience, with nostalgia favoring originals while convenience praised remakes. Both versions contributed to Hoenn's enduring legacy. Mega Evolution, introduced in the remakes, allowed specific Pokémon to temporarily transform into more powerful forms during battle. Hoenn natives like Blaziken, Swampert, and Skeptile received Mega Evolutions, enhancing their competitive viability. These transformations added spectacle and strategy, requiring players to choose when to activate Mega Evolution for maximum impact. The mechanic became controversial, but undeniably popular. Primal Reversion, exclusive to Gruden and Kyogre in the remakes, represented an alternate transformation distinct from Mega Evolution. Primal forms restored the legendaries to their ancient power, enhancing stats and abilities dramatically. Primal Groudon gained fire typing and the ability Desolate Land, which negated water moves entirely. Primal Kyogre's Primordial Sea ability nullified fire moves, creating absolute weather dominance. These transformations elevated the legendaries to unprecedented power levels. The Delta episode, post-game content in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, expanded Rayquaza's lore significantly. The episode featured Mega Rayquaza and introduced Deoxys as a capturable legendary. This content provided narrative closure while challenging players with difficult battles. The Delta episode demonstrated how remakes could expand beyond faithful recreation. Soaring, a mechanic in the remakes allowing free flight across Hoenn, transformed traversal. Players could ride Mega Latios or Latios above the region, discovering mirage spots and legendary Pokémon. This freedom created new exploration dynamics, allowing access to previously unreachable areas. Soaring represented a fulfillment of childhood fantasies about freely flying through Pokémon worlds. Mirage spots in the remakes replaced the original's singular Mirage Island with rotating locations. Each day featured different islands, caves, and forests accessible through soaring. These spots contained legendary Pokémon from previous generations, making Dex completion easier. The daily rotation encouraged regular play, creating ongoing reasons to return. The Battle Resort, replacing the Battle Frontier in the remakes, offered streamlined competitive facilities. The simplification disappointed fans who cherished the Frontier's complexity, sparking discussions about game design philosophy. Some appreciated accessibility, while others mourned depth loss. This change epitomized broader debates about difficulty and convenience in modern Pokémon games. DexNav, a remake-exclusive feature, allowed tracking specific Pokémon on routes. The tool showed nearby species, potential moves, and even hidden abilities. This innovation made hunting specific Pokémon significantly easier while adding search and find gameplay. DexNav transformed random encounters into deliberate pursuits, appealing to players who valued directed exploration over random chance. Hidden abilities, traits different from standard abilities, became more accessible through DexNav encounters. These alternatives often provided competitive advantages, making specific hidden ability Pokémon highly valuable. Breeding Pokémon to pass hidden abilities created new optimization goals, extending replay value. The system added collectability beyond simple species acquisition. Contests received visual overhauls in the remakes, with full 3D performances replacing sprite-based animations. Pokémon displayed moves dynamically, creating spectacle comparable to modern talent shows. The changes made contests more engaging visually, though some mourned the loss of original charm. These updates reflected broader shifts in series presentation. Secret bases expanded in the remakes with online connectivity, allowing players to share bases globally. QR codes enabled easy base sharing without direct connection, democratizing access. Players could create elaborate bases with expanded decoration options, showcasing creativity to worldwide audiences. This evolution transformed secret bases from local novelties into global phenomena. Pokemart's integration into Pokémon Centers streamlined shopping in the remakes, reducing backtracking between separate buildings. This convenience update reflected modern design philosophy, prioritizing efficiency. While practical, some fans missed the separation that made towns feel more spatially complex. Such changes highlighted tensions between nostalgia and progression. Moss Deep's Space Center launches, which occurred periodically during gameplay, created dynamic world events. Watching rockets blast off added life to the environment, suggesting ongoing activities beyond player actions. The Space Center's scientists discussed current launches, creating the impression of a functioning research institution. These ambient details enriched Hoenn's sense of place. Fallerbor's ash-covered fields, a consequence of Mount Chimney's volcanic activity, created unique agricultural challenges. Locals adapted by growing specialized crops that thrived in volcanic soil, demonstrating resilience. The ash coating everything gave the town a muted aesthetic distinct from Hoenn's typically vibrant palette. This environmental specificity made Fallerbor memorable despite its small size. Pseutopolis's crater formation, created by either meteor impact or volcanic collapse, shaped the city's entire identity. Water filled the crater naturally, creating a lagoon accessible only through underwater passages. The city's white stone architecture contrasted beautifully with blue water, creating picturesque views from every angle. Pseutopolis felt isolated and special, a hidden gem requiring effort to reach. The Cave of Origin's depths, accessible only during the climactic legendary encounter, descended far beneath Pseutopolis. Ancient carvings adorned the walls, suggesting the cave held significance long before the current era. The journey downward built tension, as each chamber brought players closer to confronting primal forces. The cave's design emphasized descent into prehistory and myth. The seafloor cavern's submerged chambers required careful navigation through underwater currents and narrow passages. The architecture suggested intentional construction, with precisely carved walls and deliberate room placement. Reaching the innermost sanctum felt like penetrating a forbidden temple, heightening drama. The cavern's location beneath the ocean floor created claustrophobic atmosphere, appropriate for confronting cosmic threats. Reggie Chambers' architectural consistency across 3 locations suggested coordinated construction by a single civilization. Each chamber employed similar design language, geometric patterns, sealed entrances, braille instructions, indicating shared purpose. The chamber's scattered distribution across Hoenn implied the civilization's wide reach. These environmental details created an implicit narrative about ancient peoples and their creations. Mount Chimney's cable car system allowed players to ascend the volcano efficiently while providing scenic views. The ride showcased Hoenn's geography from altitude, revealing how routes connected and towns nestled into landscapes. At the summit, Team Magma's schemes unfolded, tying transportation infrastructure into narrative progression. The cable car transformed a simple traversal method into a dramatic entry point. Fiery Path, a tunnel carved through Mount Chimney's interior, connected eastern and western Hoenn. The path's volcanic heat created uncomfortable environment for some Pokémon types while benefiting others. Fire types thrived here, with species like Numel and Torkoal appearing commonly. The tunnel's practical function as shortcut made it frequently traveled, ensuring players experienced its unique atmosphere repeatedly. Jagged Pass, a steep slope descending Mount Chimney's western side, required careful navigation down precarious ledges. One-way jumps prevented backtracking, creating linear descent that felt precipitous. Team Magma grunts guarded the path, adding combat challenges to environmental obstacles. The pass's design created sense of commitment. Once started, players descended inevitably toward the base. Route 119, the location for Phoebus fishing, stretched across several panels of water routes. The route's length and Weather Institute distraction meant many players overlooked Phoebus entirely during initial playthroughs. This oversight contributed to the Pokemon's legendary status, as casual players often learned about Phoebus only after completing the main story. The route itself lacked distinguishing features, making Phoebus's presence feel intentionally hidden. Route 120, leading to Fortree City, featured a lengthy stretch where heavy rain persisted constantly. This permanent weather condition demonstrated environmental persistence, where conditions existed independent of player actions. The rain enhanced water-type encounters while discouraging fire types, creating ecological consistency. Such environmental permanence made Hoenn feel governed by natural laws rather than arbitrary game mechanics. Route 123, the northern coastal road to Moss Deep, contained numerous trainers specializing in water and psychic types. The route prepared players for the Twins Gym Challenge, offering practice against types they'd soon face. Berry patches along the route encouraged detours, rewarding thorough exploration with valuable cultivation spots. The route's scenic ocean views created pleasant backdrop for numerous encounters. Route 134, the relatively short path between Slateport and Mauville, saw frequent travel due to its central positioning. Despite brevity, the route featured sufficient trainer and wild encounters to remain engaging during repeated crossings. Rock smash boulders blocked optional paths, hiding items and occasional rare Pokémon. The route's utility as a connector made it one of Hoenn's most familiar stretches. Evergrande Waterfall, ascending toward Victory Road's entrance, created dramatic approach to the Pokémon League. The waterfall's scale suggested the final challenge's magnitude, building anticipation through environmental grandeur. Climbing the cascade felt like ascending toward destiny, with each surge upward increasing tension. The waterfall transformed simple traversal into ceremonial progression toward ultimate test. Victory Road's multiple floors and interconnected passages created genuine labyrinth, requiring careful mapping. Puzzles involving strength boulders needed solving in specific sequences to progress. Strong trainers lurked in corners, ambushing players who rushed forward carelessly. The dungeon's complexity ensured only prepared teams reached the league, serving as final gauntlet before championship battles. The Elite Four's chamber design reflected their type specialties, with each room themed appropriately. Sydney's dark type focus manifested in shadowy aesthetics, while Phoebe's ghost specialization employed ethereal lighting. Glacia's ice theme featured crystalline architecture, and Drake's dragon preference displayed cave-like environments. These environmental touches enhanced immersion, making each battle feel thematically distinct. Wallace's champion chamber, accessible through a waterfall, featured a central platform surrounded by pools. The room's aquatic theme suited his water-type specialization while creating visually striking battle arena. After defeating Wallace, the Hall of Fame awaited, commemorating victorious teams. The chamber's design celebrated water's beauty and power, embodying Wallace's coordinator background. Steven's champion chamber in Ruby and Sapphire lacked Wallace's aquatic theme, instead featuring minimalist stone architecture. The simplicity focused attention on the battle itself rather than environmental spectacle. Steven's presence, surrounded by geological formations he presumably collected, reinforced his character as studious collector. The chamber felt more like a scholar's retreat than a throne room. The Hall of Fame's recorded teams created permanent monuments to successful journeys. Viewing past teams evoked nostalgia, reminding players of Pokémon who'd accompanied them through challenges. The Hall preserved even temporary team members, ensuring every contributor received acknowledgement. This feature transformed victory from simple mechanical achievement into memorialized narrative conclusion. Post-game, Steven encounters at Meteor Falls showcased his continued presence after championship defeat or abdication. Finding him searching for rare stones maintained character consistency, showing his passions transcended competitive battling. These encounters humanized Steven, presenting him as peer and fellow enthusiast rather than merely obstacle. His willingness to share findings demonstrated generosity beyond his battling prowess. Registeel's clear body ability prevented stat reduction from opponent moves, making it reliable physical wall. This defensive utility, combined with Steel typing's numerous resistances, created formidable defensive presence. Registeel's modest attack stat limited offensive contributions, positioning it as tank rather than attacker. The golem's design and function aligned perfectly, creating cohesive gameplay identity. Regirock's sturdy frame suggested physical resilience, matching its high defense stat. Despite rock typing's numerous weaknesses, Regirock's defensive capabilities allowed it to withstand super effective hits. The golem's access to moves like Stone Edge and Earthquake provided offensive utility despite primarily defensive role. Regirock embodied the archetype of immovable object, standing firm against assaults. Regice's thick shell of frozen ice granted impressive special defense, allowing it to wall special attackers effectively. Ice typing created liability against physical attacks, but Regice's role focused on handling special threats. Its access to moves like Ice Beam and Thunderbolt provided offensive coverage against common threats. Regice represented Ice's dual nature, fragile against direct force, resilient against energy. The Regi Trio's potential relationship to Brandon, the Pyramid King and Emerald's battle frontier, added lore intrigue. Brandon commanded the three golems in battle, suggesting he'd completed the unlocking sequence himself. This connection implied ongoing discovery of ancient secrets, with Brandon serving as fellow seeker rather than creator. The relationship between trainer and ancient Pokémon raised questions about rightful ownership and archaeological ethics. Rayquaza's dwelling in the Sky Pillar suggested intentional isolation from ground-level conflicts. The tower's height and precarious structure prevented casual access, ensuring only determined individuals reached the summit. Rayquaza's choice to remain aloft rather than descend unless summoned demonstrated restraint and wisdom. The legendary's reluctance to interfere except in dire circumstances distinguished it from more aggressive counterparts. Mega Rayquaza, introduced in the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire remakes, achieved transformation without requiring a Mega Stone. This unique mechanic distinguished Rayquaza from all other Mega-capable Pokémon, reinforcing its special status. Learning Dragon Ascent enabled Mega Evolution, tying transformation to mastering signature move. This requirement created narrative coherence, linking power to skill rather than external items. The meteorite from space, which crashed into what became Satopolis Crater, carried the ancient energy that influenced Hoenn's legendary Pokémon. This cosmic connection implied Hoenn's mythology extended beyond earthly concerns, touching celestial phenomena. The meteorite's role in both geography and power suggested the region's destiny was written in stars. Such cosmic scope elevated Hoenn's narrative beyond regional conflicts. Granite Cave's Steven Stone encounter early in the journey foreshadowed his later importance. Finding the future or former champion casually collecting stones established his priorities beyond battling. Players who paid attention recognized Steven's expertise even before understanding his full significance. This narrative layering rewarded observation, creating satisfying realization upon reaching the League. The abandoned ship's scanner, hidden within submerged rooms, could be delivered to Captain Bones' stern. This optional quest provided Deep Sea Tooth or Deep Sea Scale, items enabling Clamperl's evolution into either Huntail or Gorbis. The quest tied exploration to evolutionary mechanics, rewarding thorough investigation of hidden areas. Such connections between environment and progression deepened player investment in exploration. Clamperl's branching evolution, determined by which item it held while trading, created collection challenges. Obtaining both Huntail and Gorbis required multiple Clamperl and cooperative trading partners. This evolution method emphasized cooperation, as solo players struggled without external connections. The mechanic fostered community engagement, encouraging social play. Huntail's deep-sea predator design featured prominent teeth and streamlined body suited for hunting. Its physical attack focus and water typing made it effective against rock and ground types. Despite decent stats, Huntail faced competition from numerous superior water types, limiting competitive adoption. Still, its unique appearance and evolution method made it memorable among collectors. Gorbis's elegant appearance contrasted sharply with Huntail's predatory design, showcasing evolutionary divergence. Its special attack focus and access to moves like Psychic provided coverage beyond water-type attacks. Gorbis's beauty made it popular in contests, where its graceful movements scored highly. The Pokémon embodied deep ocean mysteries, where bioluminescence and strange forms flourished. Relicanth's connection to unlocking Regichambers made it functionally essential despite modest stats. The requirement to have Relicanth and Wailord in specific party positions forced players to catch both species. This puzzle design encouraged dex completion beyond simply cataloging encounters. Relicanth's ancient nature mirrored the golems, creating thematic coherence in the unlock sequence. Wailmer's transformation into Wailord upon reaching level 40 showcased extreme size increase. The evolution multiplied dimensions dramatically, creating one of the series' most visually striking transformations. Despite massive size, Wailord's stats emphasized HP over defense, creating paradox of enormous yet fragile creature. This contradiction made Wailord memorable and somewhat comical. Chimicho's rarity on Mount Pyre's summit made it highly sought among collectors. The Pokémon appeared infrequently, even when deliberately hunted, creating a frustration similar to Phoebus. Chimicho's gentle design and psychic typing contrasted with Mount Pyre's ghostly inhabitants, making it feel out of place yet special. This rarity elevated what might otherwise be forgettable Pokémon into prized catch. Absol's blade-like horn, which some believed could sense disasters, made it controversial among Hoenn's inhabitants. The Pokémon's reputation as harbinger of doom stemmed from pattern recognition rather than causation, yet superstition persisted. Absol's tragic status as misunderstood protector resonated with players who saw beyond superficial appearances. The Pokémon became symbol for prejudice born from fear and ignorance. Zangoose and Seviper's mutual hatred, described extensively in Pokédex entries, created narrative tension beyond simple version exclusivity. The feud spanned generations, with each species instinctively attacking the other on sight. This biological programming suggested deep evolutionary history, where competition shaped behavior fundamentally. Players caught between this ancient conflict became unwitting participants in ongoing war. Torchic distribution as special gift through various promotional events made it widely available despite being starter. This generosity contrasted with typical starter scarcity, allowing more players to experience Blaziken's evolutionary line. Event Torchic often knew exclusive moves or possessed special abilities, adding collectible value. Such distributions demonstrated Game Freak's willingness to share desirable content widely. Mudkip's popularity, spawned partly by internet memes, elevated it beyond in-game utility. The phrase, "I heard you leak Mudkips," became cultural touchstone, introducing non-players to Hoenn's water starter. This mimetic success demonstrated how internet culture could amplify Pokémon visibility beyond official marketing. Mudkip's cute design and strong evolutionary line justified the attention, creating a feedback loop of popularity. Trico's cool, confident demeanor distinguished it from typical grass starters' gentle personalities. Its evolution into Sceptile maintained this attitude, creating reptilian predator rather than nurturing plant creature. The line's grass typing without obvious plant features beyond tail leaves created unusual aesthetic. This departure from grass-type conventions made Trico line memorable and visually distinct. May and Brendan, the playable characters, represented Hoenn's protagonist options. Whichever character players didn't select became the friendly rival, providing occasional assistance in battles. This rival's supportive rather than an antagonistic nature created different relationship dynamic from earlier games. The shift toward cooperative rivalry reflected broader changes in series tone toward positivity. Norman, the player's father and Petalburg City gym leader, created unique narrative element. Battling one's own parent added emotional weight to a typically routine gym challenge. Norman's specialization in normal types, culminating in slaking, tested players' understanding of ability mechanics. The familial connection made this gym battle personally significant rather than purely mechanical. Wally, the sickly rival befriended early in the adventure, showcased character growth through gameplay. Initial encounters portrayed Wally as weak and uncertain, struggling to catch his first Pokémon. Later battles revealed tremendous improvement, with Wally eventually fielding competitive team, including Gardevoir. This arc demonstrated that determination could overcome physical limitations, resonating with players facing their own challenges. Wally's final battle before Victory Road served as unofficial exam, testing whether players were ready for the league. His improved team and confident demeanor contrasted sharply with early helplessness, showing tangible growth. Defeating Wally felt bittersweet, pride in his progress mixed with recognition that surpassing him was necessary. This emotional complexity elevated Wally beyond typical rival archetype. Professor Birch's hands-on research approach, involving fieldwork and direct observation, distinguished him from predecessors. Early encounters showed Birch being chased by wild Pokémon, establishing him as active participant rather than detached academic. This characterization made Birch relatable and accessible, someone who understood adventure firsthand. His research on habitat and distribution tied directly into Hoenn's environmental emphasis. Birch's starter gift, occurring after saving him from attacking Pokémon, created narrative justification for receiving powerful partner. The emergency context made the gift feel earned rather than arbitrary, establishing player as capable trainer from the outset. This organic introduction to starters contrasted with more formulaic distributions in other regions. The scenario created immediate bond between player, professor, and starter through shared experience. Mr. Briny, the elderly sailor who provided transportation to various islands, represented civilian assistance outside official channels. His willingness to help, despite no institutional obligation, showed community spirit and individual kindness. Briny's Pelipper companion, Wingull, in early encounters, demonstrated long-term partnership between human and Pokémon. These details humanized NPCs, making Hoenn feel populated by individuals rather than mere quest dispensers. Briny's cottage near Rustboro served as quiet refuge and character-building location. The modest home suggested simple lifestyle focused on sea and Pokémon rather than material accumulation. Visiting Briny between adventures created sense of returning to friend rather than merely accessing service. This characterization transformed functional NPC into memorable personality. Captain Stern, the shipbuilding expert in Slateport, became embroiled in Team Aqua's schemes through his submarine technology. His reluctant involvement in villainy demonstrated how expertise could be exploited regardless of intention. Stern's ultimate cooperation in stopping Team Aqua showed redemption and responsibility. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed drifting through these quiet moments, there's another video waiting on the left of your screen. Let it play while you rest. You might discover something gentle before sleep takes you again.